It's time to take off your clothes, enjoy clothes-free living, and join us for Naked, Nudists, and Naturists.
Welcome to Naked, Nudists, and Naturist, the show that celebrates clothes-free living for all. I'm your host, Frank Stone.
And I'm your correspondent, Lisa Monroe, and I'll be reporting on all things within the Naturist community. So it's time to get naked and join us.
And enjoy clothes-free living on Naked, Nudists, and Naturists. Well, greetings and welcome into Naked, Nudist, and Naturist episode 186 today. Can you believe that? We are moving and grooving and rocking and rolling on our way to episode 200, which will be coming not too long from now, but today is 186. Really glad that you are with us. Ready to dive in and enjoy clothes-free living for all of the right reasons for the next, I'm going to guess, 40 minutes or so, however long it lasts. Now, after the show's over, you can still be clothes-free, but during the show, we can live the life together, and so we are glad that you are here. And you know what I'm going to say now because it sets the tone. Come on in. The pool is fine. It feels great. The hot tub is going full blast. The grill is going full bore. And guess who is manning the grill today? None other than Gary Messel. You might remember Gary. He at one time was the president of AANR West. He's also a big shooter in the Southern California Naturist Association. He was the leader there for a number of years. And now he's turned to writing books. Well, Gary flew in from California last night just so he could be here today for the show and fire up the grill. So that's going full bore. We do have fruits and vegetables off to the right. You can help yourself there. We have cold drinks off to the left. We have hot drinks inside, including that espresso machine donated by a listener. If you leave the pool area, if you go out the left side, there's a hammock awaiting you. You want to take a little break, maybe a quick nap. Maybe you need a quick 10 minutes before that lunch. Feel free to use that. We have some putting greens out back if you just want to practice your golf game, your short game, so to speak. We have some bocce ball action off to the right, and I neglected to mention, going back to the hammock for a minute, we have a little listener library over there. Some shelves stocked with naturist fiction books. So while you're on the hammock, you can grab one of those books. You can even bring it inside the pool area and sit in the sun and enjoy the breeze on your skin and the sun and the vitamin D while reading a naturist fiction book. And back inside the pool, we do have the famous cigar bar in the back left corner. Help yourself to everything today. That's why we are here, to enjoy the day, enjoy the time that we have together, living clothes-free for all of the right reasons. And for good measure, we did provide extra chairs, extra suntan lotion, extra towels. You don't need anything at all to come in. That's the whole point of naturism. You are accepted as you are, so come as you are. Glad that you are here, ready to enjoy today's show. This is our 39th straight Wednesday show. We haven't missed a Wednesday since we started July 30th of last summer. The Lisa Frank extravaganza on Wednesdays. We're a little more relaxed. It's just the two of us going back and forth. And I believe I once stated, maybe 2 or 3 times, we don't do interviews on Wednesday shows. However, if things come to fruition, it looks like we are going to do one on the May 13th show. Just giving you a heads up on that. When you tune in on May 13th, say, hey, whoa, what's going on here? Why are they doing an interview on a Wednesday? Well, there are reasons for it, and it has to do with scheduling and timing, and all of our Saturday interview slots are booked from here until the end of time, I think. And there's an important interview coming up, and we wanted to get it in a timely manner, and the only way to do that would be to use a Wednesday show. So we will do that on May 13th and tell you more about it as we get closer to that date, assuming that it comes to fruition. Not everything is locked and ready to go, but it looks pretty good. So we will, looking forward to that on May 13th. Otherwise, it's just Lisa Frank and Lisa going back and forth on a variety of topics as it relates to naturism and the naturism community. And we do have a bunch of information to give you today. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Chizmar movie coming out on April 28th It is called Naked as Created, the Pastor Jim story. We'll talk about that again. Rick Dorciak, you know that name. You've heard it gazillions of times on this show. He has yet another new song. It's actually not that new. It's just we missed it here at the studio. We didn't see it out there. Well, we've seen it now, so we'll feature that on today's show. We'll talk about the podcast platform ratings and what's going on there. Some nefarious characters, and we know who they are and we know what they're doing. We'll tell you all about that. The Naturist Choice Awards. George Oberle is the marketing person, the marketing chairperson for AANR, and he put together some Naturist Choice Awards. That's all done and finished. People voted. We have the results, and I promised George we would cover that for him to give some PR to the Naturist Choice Awards for AANR, so we'll do that. And then we'll talk a little bit about AANR Voting. There is an election coming up. The window will open around May 15th. And it will end on June 20. So if you are a member of AANR, get ready. You're going to be voting fairly soon. And I believe it's all online. I will confirm that for you as the time gets a little bit closer. So lots to talk about today. We are really glad that you are here. Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 186, the 39th straight Wednesday. Really glad that you are here to enjoy with us clothes-free living for all of the right reasons. Well, I don't know about you, but over the last moment or two, I thought I heard some music underneath my voice. Let's listen together and see if we hear it. Oh, yes, I hear it. I'm sure that you can hear it too. That can only mean one thing. It's time for the great, the terrific, the one-of-a-kind, the completely clothes-free and fully smiling, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. And here she is, the one and only, the one-of-a-kind, the completely clothes-free and fully smiling, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
Good morning, Frank. I'm actually doing very well. It's, as I've said before, it's getting summer, and I'm one of those weird people that loves the heat. So I'm happy that we're getting some warmer days.
All right. Well, you just said I'm one of those weird people who loves the heat. You could have stopped after the word people. I'm one of those weird people, period. And just and then I could have taken it from there, but we didn't, so I'll just move on.
Yeah, well, you would identify with that phrase statement, wouldn't you? Definitely weird people. But anyway.
Well, I guess we can have an addendum. You can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner or coffee, and do not call either one of us normal. We just can't have that, right?
No, what's the fun in being normal? Oh my God, how boring. It's just boring.
I have a friend. I've known him forever, like since we were kids. And his MO in life as a kid, and still is, he wants to be different from everybody else, no matter what. And sometimes I've said, in this case, being different is actually worse than going with the norm. And he said, I don't care. My goal, I have to be different. Even if I'm less successful, I'm different, and that makes me happy. I thought, well, all righty then. What can you do with that? Yeah,
you can't do anything with it. And he's, he's, as they say, true to his school. He wants to be different. He is going to be different. And so at least, people who stick to their principles and to their beliefs and do what they say, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, he thought, I had a band, a few bands years ago. It's been a long time, but one of the things we did was play for wedding receptions. And he came and heard us, and we were doing all the tunes that get people on the dance floor and having a great time. And when it was over, he said, but you didn't do any classical music. I said, right. He goes, you didn't do any jazz. I said, right. He said, well, then what's the point of playing at a wedding, wedding reception? I said, the whole point is to get people on the floor, give them a good time. Right. And they want the old standards, like celebration by Kool and the Gang. Exactly. Even today in 2026, try being a band at a wedding reception and not playing celebration. You got to be nuts to leave that one out. And he just thought that was the dumbest thing ever. He goes, well, that's an old song. He goes, I said, well, some of the classical pieces are even older, hundreds of years old. And he didn't understand that. He goes, he was lecturing me. He goes, you got to be different. You got to stand out from the crowd. And I said, do you realize showing up and saying, hey, everybody, get on the dance floor, here's a piece by Johann Sebastian Bach. They would have started throwing like that movie Animal House, and they were throwing beer bottles and everything else at them. And we would then run out of town and not paid. So we've gone back and forth millions of times. But anyway, are you different or are you closer to normal? What do you think?
Well, I normal is boring, so I like to think that I'm a little different in some ways, but I don't know that being different is a good thing, And I get, it's kind of a fine line, isn't it? Because if you're not normal, then professionally and all that, you kind of have people look at you funny. And I had a friend who was, she was in HR. She was a regional manager for the company that I was in corporate HR for. And she was a psychic. And she made no bones about being a psychic. And I told her one day, I said, you might want to just tone down the rhetoric when you're around other people and not, talk about it so much. I said, because people are kind of going, who is this woman? What's going on with her? And she looked at me and said, no way. She said, I am who I am, and I'm going to be that. And they can either like it or they can fire me. And end of conversation. And they did, actually, which is really sad. And she was excellent at her job, absolutely excellent. But so sometimes the norm is the best thing, but it's certainly boring.
They fired her for being a psychic or for pontificating about it on the job?
And yeah, they fired her because too many people were complaining that they felt she was not serious enough about her work when she was probably the best HR person in the company.
Okay. All right.
Besides me. No, I'm kidding.
Of course.
But no, she probably was.
Almost every place you work, maybe, well, it's getting less and less, it seems like, they're paying you to do a job. And so if you're on the job doing all kinds of things not related to the job, such as talking about being a psychic or convincing people even to be a naturist, for heaven's sakes, they're not paying you for that.
No.
Now, during lunch, sure. During breaks, absolutely. But if you're banging out a memo, dear so-and-so, you've been late for the third time this week. Hey, have you ever tried being a psychic or whatever? I can see a company getting, hey, we're not paying you for that. Now, you're entitled to your opinions, your thoughts, your views, whatever, but not when we're paying you. Save that for 5 o'clock and beyond. So, and maybe they had a number of complaints, either from employees or customers or whatever. And sometimes you just can't do what you want to do. That seems to be the MO today. Well, it's my right for free speech. I say, no, it's not. You're working for the company. It's their right to say, hey, knock it off, or your backside's going to hit the road. But
and it kind of correlates with naturism because, we can't walk into our office naked. We can't walk into the grocery store naked. So we can't express what we think. She could at least say, hey, I'm a psychic. But, she never stepped out of bounds and she did her job beautifully. But it's, it's one of those things. But for us to take what our outside activity is and try to put it into the workplace, it would never work. And that's where the real problem comes in, the real sadness about all of this.
Yeah. And, the file is filled with people who have lost their jobs over that, especially public service.
Absolutely.
Such as police officers, firemen, teachers, even doctors and nurses, because too many people still, and that's why we're here promoting this, but to change the narrative, too many people think, oh, wow, I didn't realize he was a weirdo. Well, we can go on forever on that. It's not weird. It's actually normal to live clothes-free. But too many people still think of that. So, oh, he's a great doctor, but, he's one of those naked guys on the weekends. So maybe we should find another doctor. The most ludicrous type of statement you'll ever hear, but it does go on, and people lose jobs and careers over it.
They sure do.
Yeah.
Not good at all.
No. Can you believe it's the 39th straight Wednesday that we've gotten together and done this? 39. That's getting up there.
It is definitely getting up there. And the thing about it is that when we first started to think about the Wednesday show, we'd had people say, hey, let's, we would love to have you do another show. And so we bantered that back and forth for a while. And then we decided, hey, okay, we'll do that. And we did. And now all of a sudden, it seems like that was 2 weeks ago, or it seems like we've always been doing it in the same way with the Saturday show. So it's, it kind of becomes second nature after a while.
Mhm.
And I guess we enjoy it. So here we are,
Yeah.
our 39th Wednesday Frank and Lisa extravaganza.
Yeah, 39th Wednesday, 186 overall.
Yeah.
I always think, I've said this before, but I think of that old joke. I just flew in from Italy and boy, are my arms tired. We're
Yep.
just doing episode 186 and boy, are my vocal cords tired or whatever. They're not, but it just, there's a joke in there somewhere. I
Yeah,
just was not
there's a joke in
successful
there
finding
somewhere.
it. Yeah,
There's obviously probably somebody has a joke in there somewhere, but
that's right.
no, it's just unreal. I think that I guess they said time flies when you're having fun, and I'm
Hmm.
assuming that's pretty much what's weird is happening here because we are having fun with this
Yeah, yeah.
and love
Mhm.
interacting with our listeners, and so life is good.
Yeah, as if we weren't tired enough from flying in from Italy, we are considering adding a third show. We probably will do it. We just don't know when. Literally and figuratively, lots of moving parts behind the scenes. And
Literally.
once we get everything sorted out, we will address that and get more serious about it. Could be soon, could be a month or two or three. We just don't know. So we don't want to put anything out there that we don't have come to fruition on time. We just don't know yet, but we're going to do it. It'll be on Mondays, most likely. And let's not commit to every Monday, just like we didn't commit to every Wednesday, but then we did it. We'll see how that flies, and we'll at least kick it off. And if it goes well, we'll do more and more and more, kind of like we did on Wednesdays. That sound fair?
That sounds fair, and I just know us. Hey, are we going to do the Monday show this week? Oh yeah, sure, we'll do it next week. Are we going to do the Monday show this week? Oh yeah, let's do that.
That's
That
right.
was how Wednesday started out. Oh yeah, let's just do one this week, and then maybe we'll skip next week.
Yeah.
Never happened.
No, no, not at all. And to top everything off, as you know, this is 186, and you're
hmm
reasonably decent at math.
Yes,
If you take
reasonably.
200 and you subtract 186, you got 14. So in 14 more shows, we'll have episode 200. Now, maybe that's when we should just, hey, let's take a day at the beach and just kind of regroup here. We probably won't, but it would be
No,
a good idea.
no, no. We would probably go beach, or do you want to record a show? And oh, let's just do the show, and then we'll go to the beach, and then that's the end of that. So I know us too well.
That's right. I wanted to mention again, we're trying to do this on every show for now. Today's April 22nd, but on April 28th, so Tuesday of
Yes.
next week, Tim Chizmar's new movie is coming out, Naked as Created. This is the whole story about Pastor Jim. He got fired from being a pastor because he discovered naturism and he discovered that's how God intended for us to live. So none of that makes sense. Okay, you're teaching the Bible, you're living to the according to the Bible, and they say, "Hey, you're fired because you don't have your clothes on," even though that's how God made us and that's how people used to live. But our society doesn't know that anymore. They've not accepted it. And so, long story short, he's landed on his feet and is doing quite well. But Tim put it all together. I think Tim even wrote the script for this movie, and they just had one nightmare after another putting it together. But Tim's the kind of guy, you throw 1,000 things at him, he's just going to keep coming back for more until he gets it
Mhm.
done. A lot of people would have quit early on, like, hey, that's enough of this. It's too much like work. I'm out of here. But not Tim. And Lisa, I know you're looking forward to it too. The big release on TV on demand through Amazon and also a DVD next Tuesday, April 28th, and the link is in the show notes. Pretty excited?
Yeah, very excited. I think it's a really great milestone for Tim because this is on Amazon Prime. And so for them to recognize that this is a worthwhile movie to present to their members, it's a pretty big deal, and maybe they're not going to stream it, free for everybody, but at least if you want to see it, there'll be a nominal rental fee, or you can buy the DVD and support Tim and support these people like Pastor Jim who are out there making a difference. They're not certainly not ashamed or afraid to get out there and say we're a naturist and here we are, and
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty true from here. And it's a great story. Pastor
Oh,
Jim
oh, yeah,
did a great thing.
yeah. And obviously, Tim is in his own movie, and we've mentioned
Mm-hmm.
before Kate Lane, Christopher Mitchell, known
Yep.
as Mud Walker, Dan Hawkins,
Mm-hmm.
and our Southwest president, Melanie Munson. and Jeff and Cindy Tendick from Shangri-La Ranch in Arizona, a host of other people, including Cynthia Holbach, the president of the Naturist Society Foundation, and as I mentioned, a host of people, including Pastor Jim's own daughter, who played his wife in the movie. She substituted at the last minute. Somebody went home sick. In fires Rachel Moore, Pastor Jim Moore's daughter, to play his wife in the movie. So looking forward to it. And yes, we will mention this again on Saturday.
Yeah.
We'll probably mention again next Wednesday, even though it'll be the day after the release. But we want you to get this and support naturism creators and content. So we don't go away. We don't want anyone to go away. We want everybody putting out as much content as possible for the greater good. Any last comments on that?
Well, I think that Tim deserves some accolades here for the hard work that he puts in to making naturism normal or fun or part of a mainstream type situation, because he's done a fun movie. He's done this very serious and true story. And he's also, I think, doing a horror movie, and it's kind of a campy horror movie from what I can tell. So, he's putting it out there. He's making naturism part of a normal story that we've seen at that, other times. And so kudos to Tim for doing this to promote naturism.
Yeah, very much so. So again, Naked as Created, the movie coming out next Tuesday, April 28th by Tim Chizmar. Now, I wanted to mention something. And I've mentioned it before on the show, but it's usually either before you come in or after you've left.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've discussed it together on the show, losing track of time here and what we've done. But there's a very small group of folks out there. And by the way, some naturism content creators out there.
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about you should support them all. Well, we have actual naturism content supporters who not only are not supporting us, but they've gotten a small team together, and they're going on the various podcast platforms, specifically Spotify and Apple, because those are the two biggest ones.
Mm-hmm.
And they're giving us the lowest rating possible to drive our overall rating down, which they've done. They've actually done that. We know who they are. They think they're going in sneakily, which is how that type of a person usually operates. They never are bold and proud and everything else. They go in through the basement door and put bombs in the pipes and then sneak out before they blow up. Like, ooh, I don't know what happened there. Wow, their rating has gone down. Wow, I wonder what happened. Well, we know what happened. They think they're going in anonymously, but there are ways to determine who's done what, and we know who they are. And even some people have gone on under different email addresses thinking, well, they'll never catch me now. Well, we did. And, Lisa, at some point, we might need to expose who these people are, because I'm to the point where I've almost had enough. Enough is enough is enough. And whether we do that or not, we don't know, because we tend to not be negative. But people are going in on purpose, naturism content creators and a few people that are bringing along for the ride, and purposely giving us the lowest rating possible. That's an unforgivable sin if you're a naturist person. And you believe in, I love naturism, I love everybody, and then you do nefarious acts like that. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You won't be, but you should be. Mm. And so we're asking you, our hordes of listeners, go on Spotify, go on Apple, and give us, I'll just say it flat out, I usually say 1 through 5, 5 being the highest, just give us a number 5 to balance these people out. Use the word people instead of the word I was going to use. Mm-hmm. Bad behavior, and shame on you for calling yourself a true naturist when you're really just all about destroying people. Lisa, your thoughts on all that?
Well, if someone has something they want to say, make a comment, and don't sneak in and try to harm anybody else or any platform by just giving them a one and going on, because in the in the world of writing, that happens a lot on Amazon. People, especially people who may not like the author, will go in and just give them ones and everything along the way. And it's just really a sad comment on society that they can't be vocal about it. They can't be hey, I don't like the show. That's fine. Don't like the show, don't listen. But don't also do this because you think it's gonna make you feel better. And that's pretty much all this is that, oh, look what I did. Boom. And
yeah.
whatever. So, the people are people, I guess, but it would be very nice to see some support out there for what we actually do.
Yeah. So we're asking you flat out now, go to Apple or Spotify, whatever you're listening to right now, and maybe go to the other one later and just give us a number 5 rating to counteract what these really bad people are doing. And you can probably identify them as well as we can. On the good news front, let's get to some music here. Rick Dorciak from Kick-Ass Nudists lives at Lake Como, a naturist resort. He lives there year-round. That's his home. He keeps coming out with new tunes. And Lisa, I missed this one. It's not brand new. In fact, I missed a couple. We'll get the next one on the next show or next week. This is called We're All Born Naked, an acoustic version. I think it's just a guitar in the background and a lady singing. And that is the message. We're all born naked. So just enjoy. And the lyrics are great. We won't take the time to go through them now. But if you're okay, we'll go ahead and listen to it, unless you have a couple comments about Rick first.
Well, for one thing, Rick is now, I think, getting to give us a soundtrack for any naturist gatherings that we have, because there's enough songs there that we could play them, several times. But they're really good, and they have a point, and they make a statement, and on top of that, they're fun to listen to. And this one's a little different from some of the others because it's a little bit more. I'm not sure ballad type is the way to say it, but it's a much quieter and more, almost a deeper meaning kind of song. It carries on. So I think it's just very well done.
Yeah. All right, let's listen to it right now. Rick Dorciak from Kick-Ass Nudists, his song entitled We're All Born Naked.
No designer label, no brand new shoes, no fancy outfit we had to choose, no matching fabrics, no stitched up seams, just bare skin and a future full of dreams. No status symbol, no name in lights, no fashion rules, no wrongs or rights. We didn't worry what people would say, we just showed up that day. Before the shame, before the fear, before they told us what to wear, we were free as we could be, and that's still living inside of me. We were all born naked, that's how we came in, entering the world in our bare skin, laughing and crying, completely free, just being human, living naturally. No shame in the mirror, no lines to defend, body positivity isn't a trend. We were all born naked, it's plain to see, the most natural way to be. Somewhere along the growing years, they handed us doubt and dressed it as fear, told us hide this, fix that part, started judging from the start. But everybody's a work of art, different shapes but the same heart. No one's wrong, no one's less, we're more than what we wear or don't, I guess. Let it go, let it fall, we were all born natural after all. We were all born naked, that's how we began, entering the world in our bare skin, laughing and crying, wild and free, just being human, living naturally. No shame in the mirror, no lines
And there you go, Rick Dorciak from Kick-Ass Nudists, his reasonably new song. It's not brand new because we just flat out missed it. We're all born naked. And what a great mantra, a great theme, isn't it, Lisa?
It sure is. I mean, that's we talk about that all the time where, it's clothes free living for all the right reasons. And the right reason is this is the way we were born. And so I don't think that, clothes came along just to keep us warm and then came along to be shameful. And so those are not reasons to wear clothes. Maybe the cold is, but those are not reasons to wear clothes to be shamed. And I think that between Rick and Mark from France, that message is getting out very, very well. So kudos to Rick for this.
Yeah. All right, let's turn. AANR had some Naturist Choice Awards recently. And George Oberly is the ringleader, the head of the marketing committee. And they put together a ballot, basically. And I'll just read what they put online on the AANR site. The American Association for Nude Recreation is proud to present the results of the 2026 AANR Naturist Awards. The categories were developed by the AANR Marketing Committee and carefully designed to capture where naturists prefer to go nude, favorite resorts, nude beaches, naturist websites. We also asked voters to rank the importance of AANR outreach on behalf of the naturist community. I feel it is important to ensure that AANR is not only listening to what our members want and enjoy in nude recreation, but also to reach out to those who are not members to give them a voice. And that's what this whole thing did. You didn't have to be a member to vote. You just find out about it and go online and vote.
That's a wonderful thing that they did.
The survey was open to both AANR members and unaffiliated nudists alike, allowing people outside the organization to participate, offering a broader range of insights and perspectives from across the greater naturist community. And Lisa, on that page, there is a quote. Do you mind reading that?
I feel it's important to ensure that AANR is not only listening to what our members want and enjoy in nude recreation, but also to reach out to those who are not members to give them a voice.
All right. And in methodology, from January 10 through February 15 of 2026, we offered a survey on the AANR.com website for naturists to vote for their favorite places to enjoy non-sexual nude recreation. We kept it simple with just 5 survey categories: favorite nudist resort, nude in nature spot, non-landed nudist club, naturist website, and naturist social media account. Each of the questions was followed with an open comment field. Why is this your favorite? While this was not truly a scientific approach, we received 936 votes. After removing duplicate votes, we ended up with the remaining 914 votes. We had 3 committee members tally the votes separately, resulting in the top 5 favorites in each category. Below are the results, along with selected voter comments explaining why this was their favorite, why their choice was a favorite. And we don't want to go through the full list, probably just guide you there. It's AANR.com, AANR.com, right on the home page. It even says Naturist Choice Awards, and just click on that, and it will take you to the page, and it lists everything off. And again, the first category, favorite naturist resorts. You can read all about those, and maybe your favorite is there. Favorite non-landed clubs. You can read all about those. Then we had favorite nude in nature spots. I kind of enjoyed that one because there's no money involved. It's just where do people go when they want to get away from it all and be clothes free. And then we had the last couple, favorite naturist websites. I'll just point this out. Guess what won for naturist favorite naturist website? AANR.com.
I think that might be a given.
Yeah. And the last one, well, they asked for outreach efforts and all that good stuff. You can read all about it. And I know there are a couple of places, whether it's a place or whatever, I don't want to get too specific, where they encouraged people, hey, vote for me, vote for my thing. And that really taints the results, of course. But as you mentioned earlier, people are people, and they're going to do whatever they want.
Absolutely.
But definitely check it out, and kind of a fun thing to go through, and you can check out the various favorites as put forth by, I think it said 914 total votes, and just check it out and have a little fun with that. And we promised George we would cover that for him because he's put a lot of work into that marketing committee. And quite honestly, if everybody worked as hard as George, everybody would be better off for it. We'll just say that, put it out there, and leave that right there.
I agree completely.
All right. Now, speaking of AANR, they have elections coming up this year. And I was told the election window will open when the May newsletter is sent out. And that is supposed to be on or around May 15th. And then the window will be open for until June 20th. So you'll have over a month to vote for different candidates, your region, the national office, the trustees. And we do know for sure two people are running for president, the one who's there already, and then another one. And I don't know if we're supposed to announce the name of the other one because that person hasn't told us to do so, or I don't even know if that person has announced. So I don't want to be the ones to say, oh, by the way, be the first one to say he or she is running for president as well. So once that is out there, then we'll give more specific information. But yeah, you'll have a choice this year for presidency, like you did last time. And we got two people running for president. I don't know about vice president. I don't know how many people are running. I know of one for sure. I don't know if there are more. And secretary treasurer, I don't know anything about that. I don't know who's running or what's going on there. And then, of course, the 7 trustees for the national office are up for re-election as well. So whatever region you're in, you get to vote for your trustee. But just wanted to make you aware of that. We'll give more information as they get closer. But it's around May 15th, and maybe it's specifically on May 15th. I don't want to mislead you. I'm just going by what I was told, on or around May 15th. And the window closes on June 20, and you'll have a chance to vote online. And you do have to be a member to vote. If you're not an AANR member, you won't be able to log in and vote. So, Lisa Monroe, any comments on any of that?
I think it's extremely important for people to vote because AANR is a very important organization to promote naturism. I mean, it is our voice out in the legal world, and it should be our voice with members and in every aspect. And so it's important to take a look at the candidates, see what they've done in the past, see what track record they have, and make a decision based on what's best for AANR. And I think that we'll wait and see who the other person is, and we'll definitely take a look at all of them, and just do your due diligence and check it out.
Yeah, and of course, in any leadership position, integrity, honesty, doing the right thing for the organization, vast experience working with huge budgets and lots of people all come into play. So we'll get more specific about that when the other person announces and when we find out more information. And we might not know until the ballot opens on May 15th. And so, oh, son of a gun, 133 people are running for president. Who knows? I'm just kidding, obviously. But
no, that won't
we know
happen.
of 2 for sure who are running for president, so you will have a choice. And Lisa Monroe, with that, when we first started the Wednesday shows, we thought, about a half an hour or so, and we blew that out of the water quickly. We've gone close to an hour every single show. But today, I think we can actually head for the hills a little bit early. Feels early, but it's really about a half an hour, maybe a little longer that you and I have been together. Plus what I did up front, what I'm going to do at the end. We might be closer to 40 minutes. Are you okay with heading for the hills until Saturday?
Absolutely. I think we've covered a lot of topics and said a lot of things, and I'm ready for a jump in the pool. I don't know about you. Let's go do that.
Well, I'm only ready to jump on in the pool on days that end with the letter Y. Would that be today?
I think it might qualify. Okay. I think today qualifies.
Yeah, let me look it on interwebs here. Wednesday. Oh, there it is. It does end with the letter Y.
Yep, so, it does.
So that means I'm ready.
Off we go. That splash you hear will be 2 people jumping in the pool.
That's right. All right, Lisa Monroe, if you promise to stay extra clothes free in between now and Saturday, we'll get together on Saturday for episode 187. How about that? Is that a deal?
Sounds good to me. Looking forward to it. Take care, everybody.
See you then. The very terrific Lisa Monroe, and I will just say 2 words about her dancing when she leaves the studio, and those 2 words are, my goodness. Well, I guess I just said it twice. Is that 4 words or is that 2 words repeated? Doesn't matter. She is a terrific dancer. You know how everybody has a gift in life, and some people have more than one? Some people think they have gifts that they don't have, but that's a story for another day. But everybody does something really well in life, and sometimes you figure out your gift, sometimes you don't. That's just how the vicissitudes of life work. Well, one of Lisa Monroe's gifts is dancing. The girl can dance. She just has a sense of rhythm that fits right in with the groove of that song, and we enjoy having her dance out of the studio every day. Although she does it for a reason. You know, she tries to throw me off course and get me to laugh and forget to come in when the music fades out a little bit. But we know her tricks, but she's a great dancer, so we put up with it, and we appreciate all that Lisa Monroe does. The website, the merchandise, the memes, you name it, she is there, and she does it all, and we appreciate her very much. Well, we hope you enjoyed today's show, Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 186 today. And obviously, just a few days from now, episode 187. And it'll feature part one of my interview with Boris Naturi, or Boris Naturi. He is a blogger / podcaster from New Zealand. He's written many books on naturism. And I think you'll really enjoy him. He's not that well known in our country yet, but this should change things. Very well spoken, very intelligent guy, and he gets the whole naturism thing. And he's a heavy content creator. Again, podcasting, blogging, writing books. He does it all. And looking forward to Boris Naturi this coming Saturday for part one, and the Saturday after that on episode 189 for part two. And however you are listening right now, on whichever podcast platform you are using, please remember to like, review, subscribe. Go ahead and give us a 5. I don't usually ask for that, never have before until very recently. And it's to offset the nefarious characters who are going in and purposely giving us the lowest rating possible to drive our rating down. And they've managed to be successful in doing that by a few points. People who claim to be true naturists, people who claim to be ethical people, people who claim to love naturism and all people, and everybody is created equal and we should love everybody. Yeah, it's a bunch of you-know-what. They are flat-out liars, and they are trying to destroy this show. They won't be successful at that, but they have been successful at lowering our overall rating, which hurts the visibility a little bit. So if you don't mind, if you're on Apple or Spotify, go ahead and give us the highest rating possible to offset them. And then maybe later today or tomorrow, go to the other platform and do the same thing there. Just beef us up. We'd appreciate it very much to offset some really bad actors out there who claim to love naturism, but, you know, they kind of like the almighty dollar a whole lot more. And they're not making any of those, so they're mad. And this is their way of getting back at society, I guess. Now, as always, we want to hear from you. Our email address, nakedforevermore@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Twitter, Blue Sky, our Patreon page, our YouTube page, our website, nakednudistandnaturist.com. We want to hear from you early and often. We try to get back to you as soon as we can. And life has gotten kind of busy here behind the scenes. We're taking care of some things that have to be taken care of. And once we get through all of that, then we'll have a little more time to respond more quickly. But please write in. We enjoy your comments and your letters and your inquiries and whatever you have to say. We enjoy reading. Well, thank you again for being with us today. You've been listening to Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 186. And Lisa and I will see you on this coming Saturday morning, April 18th, 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time on Spotify for episode 187. Well, you've been listening to Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 186 today. We give you a brand new show every Saturday morning, 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, and on most Wednesdays, 12 noon Eastern Time. Continue to join us. Check us out on our website, nakednudistandnaturist.com, Spotify, Google, Amazon/Audible, Apple Podcasts, and also on Twitter. You can write us anywhere, anytime, any place. And we thank you for being with us today. Plan to join us for every single one of our shows here and have your clothes off when you're listening. We have our clothes off when we're broadcasting, enjoying the naturist life.
We celebrate clothes-free living for all. Remember to enjoy being naked and join us again for Naked Nudists and Naturists.
We drop a brand new show every Saturday morning, so come back and join us. Have your clothes off when you do for Naked Nudists and Naturists. Have a great clothes-free day.